Alright, so we've come to the very first chapter of primary school science, the classification of things. So what is classification? What is classification? Alright, classification is actually the process of putting things into groups, so to speak. Okay, and we usually sort things into groups based on the characteristics of the objects or the subjects. Alright, just okay. And why do we classify? Why do we classify? It's another big question we have to answer. We classify, so that we can easily see similarities, and differences. This is very important. So objects with similar characteristics are classified into the same group. Those with differing characteristics are put into different groups. So similar objects will be put into the same groups. Alright, for example, you have you got the eagle, you got the miner, you got the dog, you got the cat. You can really classify these group of animals to those who fly and do not fly, isn't it? So those who fly, eagle, miner; those who do not fly, dogs and cats. Alright, so this is just one example how similar objects will be put into the same groups. Now those with differing characteristics, those with differing characteristics will be put into separate groups. So I will underline keywords here: separate groups or same groups. Why do we classify? To show similarities and differences. And that hasn't answered our question yet. Why do we actually classify? We classify so that we can better understand what we are studying. Also, let's go on to the next page. We also classify so that we can organize them systematically. Organize objects orderly and systematically. This is to allow us to locate things more easily. A great example would be, you look at a dictionary, you flip it open, letters starting with A will be grouped together. After that, after A would be B, C, D, E, F and G, so on and so forth. Alright, okay, so example, Okay, let us try to do this question. You got a wallet, a calculator, okay, you got the pencil, you got the dog, you got the iguana, you got the penguin. How should we classify this? Okay, this is basically raw data, right, without classification. So how do we classify this? We can actually classify it into living things and non-living, isn't it? Okay, what are living things? Do you see that dog? The dog is a living thing. Okay, iguana also is a living thing. Okay, also we've got the penguin. Okay, the non-living things are like the wallet, the calculator, and the pencil. Alright, so let's go down to the next page, okay, and answer this very next question. How to classify? Okay, we can classify in the form of tables or diagrams. Okay, we can also classify according to what was mentioned earlier, similarities. Okay, shapes, okay, as one characteristic, sizes, color, okay, patterns. Okay, so remember all this, we can classify objects according to their shape, sizes, color, patterns. Okay, really the truth is there is so many ways to classify things, infinite number of ways to classify. Okay, so there is no end to classification. You can classify according to whether living things or non-living things, whether they fly or do not fly, whether they live on land or do not live on land. So really too many ways to classify. Okay, so an example of a classification diagram could be, say, things. Okay, we've got those that are living, those that are non-living. Okay, the living things, we can classify them according to movement. Okay, we can also classify them according to size. Alright, really many ways of classifying. Non-living things, we can classify them according to their thermal properties. Okay, their hardness. Okay, whether they can conduct electricity. Okay, conductors of electricity. Okay, also we can classify them according to whether they can they have any magnetic properties. Okay, so on and so forth. Okay, it's infinite. Okay, there are infinite number of ways to actually classify objects. So there you go. So that's chapter 1 for you, classification of living things. Classification of things, that is. Alright.